Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's early. We're driving the car to the shop right now. I gotta figure out why this thing keeps shutting off on the track and not the street. Obviously, it's because we're pulling a whole bunch more G's on the track. The track's sticky, we're hooked up, we're making some steam. That's why. Just don't see that on the street. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave the radios on the car. I noticed that on the second pass I made when I got back into it down track, second gear, 5,000 RPMs, this thing shut off again. So I'm like, it was just over 1G. It was like a G, it was like 1.05 and it shut down. So I'm like, all right, I bet you I can get that to replicate on the street. Well, I was wrong. I couldn't get that to replicate this morning, but I did figure it out. I had a couple people message me that had the same problems, and it was their ignition switches on these columns. I'm using the factory ignition switch as a kill switch for my contactor. So I'm driving down the road, and I'm playing with it. Easy. I know Steve just got excited there, but I want to show you how easy this was for it to shut down. I don't know if it's just a worn out ignition switch or this is how it's been, but the last couple of years, all my panels, like, you know, I got the ECU panel behind the seat and everything, that has been, power to that has been off the ignition switch via relay, and I never had a problem before. So I got a brand new Ford Motorcraft ignition switch that we're gonna put in today and see if it's, you know, it's not as loose as this one. If it's not as loose as this one, we're gonna ride with that. If it's still as loose, I'm just gonna take it off, rewire the whole ignition, and put it on a normal kill switch up on the dash, something like that for power. But this is what we got. So, let me get this steering wheel down so the cord's not in the way. So here's my kill switch, right? Let me start this thing. You hear a big click from the contactor, but this thing is barely, I mean, it's so right there's the edge of it, and it's just, I mean, I'm barely touching it. So I'm 99% sure that is the issue. I don't think it's the contactor. I mean, with how easy that is to shut down, that's exactly what I think. What's on? Oh, my tranny. I'm not used to seeing my tranny temp that high, but I've been beating the crap out of this car this morning. That's interesting. One air fuel's stuck at Stoich and one's 27.3. I've been shut off my CO2 bottle before I forget as well. So, the beautiful sunrise. Not in the best of spots, but there's an opening. There's an opening down the road, but there's really nowhere to park over there. Well, we got to put in the ignition switch today. I got a couple other small parts I bought from Motion because I want to win that dang big block truck, right? So, oh. I haven't put the radio back in it, so I'm listening to music off my phone. Just turned it back on. I got Rife's new drive shaft speed sensor and cable to put in. Whoa! What the hell was that? Fucking something fall out of the tree or a rock flick up and hit the car? Sure, there's a dent somewhere. But that's what happens when you street drive them. Anyway, I got the Rife speed sensor and cable to install today. I also got a new CO2 bottle holder. I bought that bottle holder years ago, some cheapo, when I was first putting the car together, and it's such a piece of junk. So I bought the Motion Raceworks one, which is really nice. It's actually hinged, and it's got a knob instead of having to get like a 3/16 Allen in there to get the thing open. It's such a pain in the ass, the one I have. So we got the new Motion one. A lot of traffic this morning. It's usually not this much traffic on this road. This is where I usually come to watch the sunrise, because this is my favorite time of the day. What else I ordered? I ordered their AN wrenches. Oh God, who's behind me? Someone had to pull in behind me. Like, fuck off. I always get nervous when I drive this car, when people pull in behind me on a road that's miles long with nothing on it except a reservoir. Is this idiot trying to turn around here? You gotta be kidding me. This idiot's really trying, and it's a blind turn, and it's a blind hill. Ugh. Not a lot of brains in people around here. I bought their AN wrench set because it's small, it's magnetic, it stacks real easy. I bought that for my drag week trailer because the last one I had was like in a tool roll and it took up so much space. I bought their new quick release and get rid of this strange one. I've never been a fan of it, simply for this. So I bought their new one. I have to replace the whole chromoly shaft that goes all the way down to the steering thing, but I'm going to wait until I do the cage. My cage is done. My 25.3 is done. Gibbons called me yesterday, said, yep, it's actually been done a couple weeks. I just know you weren't coming down here till November anyway, so I kept putting it off calling you. I was like, all right, I'll drop a check off in the mail, finish paying that off for you, and that's gonna be a project. So when I do the cage, I'll replace the steering shaft through here and put the new Motion. Ooh, just got the chills. It's a little chilly out this morning. Still in shorts though. I ain't giving that up till November, but it's like 40 degrees. Window. And yeah, I'll do the Motion shaft then. Pick up the cage when I'm down for street and meet, because Gibbons shop's like 45 minutes from Shadyside. So, oh, my GoPro light works pretty well. It's like ADD this morning. Every day, but. Alright, taking this thing apart. Let's see if I can set this camera up somewhere right here. Got the old ignition switch out. Got the new ignition switch here. I'm not sure if this is going to be it or if it's going to be the tumbler, but we're sure going to find out. Oh, I think it's the switch. So you can see right in there, that's the piece that moves back and forth. Alright, I can put that one by hand back and forth. I can't move that one at all. So there's good chances that I gotta get my keys though. So that pin, there's a pin that comes down from the tumbler and it goes into that slot right there, and that's what actuates it back and forth. So what do you think? You think this bracket's needed? That's I don't think that's needed. Looks like weight, extra weight that's not needed. Oh, that's probably needed. It's still not very tight per se. I mean, it's a whole lot harder than the old one was. So we'll run with it. The worst that happens is I come down here, I pull off this plug, and I jump these two wires together. Hopefully that is the issue in the grand scheme of things. It would certainly make life a lot easier if that was it. I just scratched my tinted windshield. I'm very much not happy about that. So that's gonna have to get redone eventually. So that's the new one for motion. This is my old one. See, this one is actually kind of cool that it's all just 2 screws that holds the whole thing in. It's probably gonna be a pain in the ass, but this is nice. Opens up. Well, we'll go put that in the car. So this is the new Rife drive shaft speed sensor and cable, but this lights up. It's got 2 LEDs in there. Tells you power, and if it's actually right, you know, it's lined up, so a trigger. I'll show you what's going on. Here's my old one. Messed up. You can make noise, Eli. So there's the wheel, and what happened is, ready? So it moved in and whacked the ring twice, actually. So now I'm going to drill a hole right here and put a second bolt in it to hold it, and should be good. I just got to clean up the reluctor ring. All right, we're like, I don't know, a week or 2 later. I don't even remember when I film and don't film anymore because it's so sporadic these days with how busy life is. But we're at home, obviously you can tell. We have to finish wiring in the drive shaft speed sensor. Just found my pins. Just went to the big trailer. My passenger seat's full of tools. So I got all the tools out of there because we wire the drive shaft speed sensor and make sure that's all good. I have to wire my rugged radio in, which is the headset to do the race week. Like, the car is not extremely loud, but when it's hours of droning, it gets to you. So, turn on some lights here. So we have to wire this unit in, which I really don't like it. This right here. So there's a fuse, then there's this audio filter, and then this is just the power harness. So it's really kind of jankety. You know, I might try to tie up some of this so this just comes out. You know, mount this, get some double sticky tape or something and tie it up and mount it, and so be it. But I gotta get that up and running today. And what else was there? There's one other thing I wanted to do. Oh, it might have been the USB chargers. Wire that in. Mess. Yeah, there it is. So I'm gonna wire this in as well. But we are in the middle of packing for Street and Eat. We got, I mean, it's, close this dang door. I'm not doing this today. Oh, getting everything situated here. Going through the bins. This is new this season. I was sick of just the bin with the lift top, so I got the one with the drawers, and it's nice because you can separate them all. Here, there you go. I got separators in here, and you can obviously separate them even further, which I haven't gotten that far. So I'm gonna go through here and make sure I have everything that I think I may need, And you know, this is, I mean, lots of little odds and ends, like a wastegate diaphragm, zip ties, a spare relay. Sorry, I keep. No, I'm good.
Okay, we'll be back.
All right. Some extra rivets and gasket maker. I mean, there's a whole bunch of jazz in here. So I'm gonna open that. Thread locker, Honda Bond. What is this? This is like super glue, epoxies, ultra copper, which is hard as a rock, so that's probably no good anymore. Good golly. Oh man, there you go. Top broke. So that's done. Radiator stop leak. In case you get a hole in the radiator. You know, lots of little odds and ends. ARP lube, electrical tape. Got put this little tube of anabolic gasket maker in there. And under this one, I got a bunch of bolts, a bunch of miscellaneous gaskets and O-rings, hitch pins. Like that's the pin I use for my shifter cable. Water pump gaskets, injector filter. See if that comes up. Injector filter, lid O-ring, injector O-rings, hitch pins, 1350 joints. I don't carry many gaskets because it's an LS, it's not really needed. The other reason I have the water pump ones is because it's spare bolts. This one I had an issue with on the first drag week. These are the nuts for the back of my wheel studs on the rear axles. I lost like 3 of them. 1350 joints, pinion seal, strange brake caps. Again, I've lost 2 of these over the course of time. So when I bought it, I bought a whole new set. Random nylocks, Gorilla tape, garbage bags. I don't even have a T6 gasket anymore or use any of these fittings. I'll have more O-rings, but all my friends do, so I just carry that anyway. More rivets, zip ties. In here, we got just randomness, couple lug nuts, spare valve stems. You never know when you need those. Some Zeus fasteners, some bolts, some 1/8 inch plugs, USB adapters, some brake fittings, and random brake fittings. And then here's like full of just randomness AN fittings, and I mean just all sorts of random things in here. And I'll add more, like what comes out of the drawer over there, I'll add in here. So that's like my little parts box. There's a dash 4, just dash 16, spare. I don't even know why that's in there. It doesn't even have a pin on it. Whatever. A couple spare relays, rivets, spare brake line. This goes in other stuff. Heat sleeve. Oh, this is everything for my Clearview. Spare screen, all new glass in there, new filters. Like it's an entire rebuild kit for the Clearview. That goes in there because that's not. You want to. There's a lot. Drag and Drive is so big now. There's so many thousands of people doing it now. Before it was, you know, 400 or 500 people. Oh, hold on. Before it was 400 or 500 people doing these. You know, and that was that. So everybody was always asking. Now it's getting more bigger. People asking, what do I bring? What should I bring? And you know, 4 or 3 years ago when I did my first Drag and Drive, I brought a ton of stuff, and it's just slowly doing this. And the main reason why I brought more stuff back then is because I simply couldn't afford to walk into a parts store and buy brand new alternator, buy brand new this, go to have something overnighted in, like a fuel pump. So I would carry all that. Well, the times are changing now. I can afford to do this, afford more. I would spend all my money on the event, so I would bring with me all my oils and transmission fluids and all that stuff. I'd still bring that, but I only bring 4 quarts of transmission fluid. I bring a spare oil filter. I bring a spare oil change, mainly because you're not buying Schaefer's in any AutoZone. But back to the point of what you should bring is, it's all going to depend on how fast your car is. If you got a 7-second car, you pretty much know what you're going to bring, what you need to maintenance the car, and how your car needs to be maintained. You got a 10-second car, I mean, general household stuff, like the silicones and spare tires, a spare USB cable, zip ties. A 10-second car isn't, unless you're a 10-second all motor car, it might be a different story. But I don't mess with any of the NA stuff, so I'm not really entirely sure what is all needed for that group of cars. But it's a lot less. You're not maintenance. I mean, shit, last year I didn't even change the oil the last 2 events. I mainly bring a change of oil now in case something happens to the engine and I gotta tear it down. That's the reason why I don't even, now that I've switched to Schaefer's and the Wix filter, I don't even change my oil. When I was on the Rotella, I had to change it 3 days in because it was so watered down and so crap. So I don't even do that. I bring enough to maintenance the car if, I gotta change a head gasket or a piston, which I won't be changing a piston this year now that it's not a stock bottom end. I don't have a spare piston and rod, which I've thought about buying, but then you got to go through the whole balancing and all that happiness. So I'm not going to really get involved too heavily in that. So it's, what I would say is, whatever you think your car needs so you can maintenance your car, and you're also got to figure out how far you're willing to go on the car. If I eat a rod, I'm not putting a motor in the car midweek. I could easily do it. I could easily probably dump a motor in this car in probably 5 hours, from start to finish. But you got to find the motor. You got to find a place to do it. You got to find an engine hoist. I mean, honestly, if it came down to it, I could rip the nose off the car in one shot and, strip the motor down in the bay, and we could lift the short block out by hand if it really came to it. But I'm not willing to do that. I'll put a head gasket in it. I'll put a valve spring in it. I'll put a rear gear in it. Stuff like that. Transmission brakes, I'm probably done. I don't know a dang thing about transmissions. Maybe I'll know someone that does, and they'll be like, oh no, I'll come and help you back, just rip it out. So you never know. But you got to be real with yourself on your expectations of what you're actually going to do. So got that bin all filled up. Get this out of here. And Milwaukee Packout is, bar none, the best stuff to use. So in this top one, I have probably time to spray these. Ooh, yeah, these things are looking a little rusty. So I bought these as a spare set. I should probably coat these down with some oil. Spare springs, retainers, keepers, valve locks, spare set of, 6 to do one head. Cam sensor, map sensor, TPMS, air temp, which I don't use a rife anymore. I use a rife, spare coolant, another set of bolt-in valve stems, which I didn't even realize I had, some plugs, spare Mac valve for boost. There used to be a spare set of push rods right here. I took those out because I got 2 different lengths now, but I'm gonna spray some oil on that stuff because those are looking pretty bad now. This will be my 4th drag and drive. I wish I could do more, but being in the Northeast, it makes it a touch difficult because everything is so far. Like if I lived in the Midwest, oh, I'd do 2 or 3 of these a year. Just a electrical box. Like I got some connectors in here, some relays, some of this, you know, a whole thing of fuses, which probably way more than I'll ever need, but battery crimps and stuff like that. Like I said, I could probably downsize. Every year I've been downsizing and different things, but I got a power probe. I bring my power probe with me instead of a test light. It's easier. A spare fully loaded hub for my little trailer. This has everything, lug nuts. It's greased, ready to rip. I also have a spare set of bearings. Oh, there's the bearings. I got a spare Davis Craig water pump, spare set of bearings for the trailer, gallon of tranny fluid, spare container. This is Simple Green, 2.5 gallon jugs that they sell at Home Depot. I love these jugs. But I bring one of these. If I change the oil, change the transmission fluid, I got somewhere to put it in. And then drain it at the track. Because I do end up doing it at the hotel. So, that's all that. My rugged radios. What else we got going on? Oh, all the paperwork on the car, wiring diagrams, crap like that. Spare alternator. Oh, there's spark plugs. 2 sets of spark plugs as I'm throwing them around. Yeah, I usually go through and pre-gap these so they're ready to rip, but I haven't had time, so that's not happening today at all. Probably not. If I need to do them, I'll do them then. I got a spare alternator. This is the original alternator off my car. I've had the Power Master on there 3 years. And this one's good. The problem is this was 120 amps. 100 amp. I took it off because it wasn't enough. And I really don't know why I carry it, but if the alternator dies on the road, at least I can get, you know, I could swap it out and at least get to the next hotel or the next track or wherever I gotta go. And I could probably, you know, I could probably not run the intercooler pump. I could probably shut the water pump for the engine off on a pass and milk it, but I don't ever not carry that. Here's all the things for that toolbox. Spare AN lines, spare brake lines, 3/16 stainless NICOP. I mainly bring the NICOP because of my friends who break brake lines. Some pig mats. Pig mats are always good to have. Oh, hey, set of push rods. 7625s. Oh, these are for the driver's side of the engine. Because the passenger side I only got 8. I didn't order a full set from but the driver's side is 7625. Passenger side is 7620. So, put those in there. So, hopefully if I heard a push rod, it's only on the driver's side. Because I don't know if I'll find a 5/16 7620 or whatever, what's in there. Power inverter. I think I'm going to ditch this year. It's a big inverter. I haven't needed it yet. It's come with me on 3 Dragon drives, and I think I used it. I don't even think I've used it once. So there's a big part of me that kind of wants to ditch it, and it's a good amount of weight. So this is on the maybe pile this year. I think this one's going to get ditched. I don't know. What I really wanted to do was I wanted to mount this in the trailer and make the connection like on, Jesus, you know, and then mount this in the trailer so I could hook it to the back of the car and it'll just work off that, and I don't have to actually take this thing out of the car, you know. But then I gotta have a coil of this stuff somewhere, so that's future. Oh, it's my washer and dryer. Keep hearing a banging. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know if I'm going to bring this or not. If If I do, I know this end is not in the car. So this is the piece that bolts to the battery, and I had this mounted, but the thing kept falling out and it kept getting corroded in there. So, like I said, I don't know, maybe. I don't know, so I'm gonna put that on the maybe list right now. One thing I didn't say was a tire patch kit. This is a kit from Blackjack. I think they're the best plugs on the road, but they sell this little kit. Put a pair of dikes in there, a razor blade, and I mean, this kit's awesome. So you never know. And I have a little Milwaukee air pump as well. But let's do the tools. I have this whole bag full. I'm not taking this whole rail, but I need to fit it in there, except for my electric tools. I don't think those are gonna fit in there. That's kind of bothersome on this one. But let's see. I have a mini flathead. I'm just gonna, oh good golly, guess this one locked on. I'm just gonna take the sockets off here that I know get used. 17, 19, you know, stuff like that. And I have I have this small rail that I use, brings 5 sockets with me, but we'll get to that. Okay, battery died on the camera, and this worthless GoPro battery stick, I swear to God, like, hit the button, fully charged, I plug it in the camera, it lasts 4 minutes. But anyways, I got the toolbox essentially situated here. So some screwdrivers, light, pliers, multimeter, Allen keys, stuff like that. Sockets, extensions and ratchets, adapters. What is that? Oh, what's that doing in here? 7/16. Gear wrenches, some other miscellaneous wrench, oil filter wrench, magnetic. These are really cool. I like having these things for working on the road. Hold bolts. They work really dang good. Flashlight. I never have enough flashlights. I actually have 2 more charging over there. And then drill bits. Deep 3/8, shallow 3/8, 3/8 impactor drill, some random 1/2 inch. This is my little accessories. It's 12-point sockets, some adapters, spark plugs, 3/16 jolt. Yeah, and then I'll always take my bag here that holds all my electrical tools. Granted, I've only ever had one electrical problem on the road. The first drag week I did, for some reason, my headlights, so we went to day 0, teched in and everything. All the lights worked because they check them. Everything worked. 2 more flashlights. A headlamp. And we wake up day 1 and it was dark out, and I had no freaking lights. I had brake lights, that was it. No running lights. I think it was day 3 I pulled like the whole taillight harness out of the car, the whole headlight harness out, pulled all the bulbs out, saw some corrosion in one bulb, and that was it. It had to be that because it kept blowing the fuse like I had a dead short. I also bought this. This is gonna end up in the trailer as well. This thing's cool. This one's the M12. I mean, you can't really see, but there you see how much brighter it is. But figured we're in the fall. Oh, it's got like, you know, it's fall time, so it's nighttime early. I don't want to be working on the car, but if I have to,
this battery. I don't know. Yeah, it's half dead. I guess I like Milwaukee. I actually don't like their tools as much. I've pretty much converted all over to black and yellow. Mounted the big plate to the wall, so I can have a full size and a half size. Still got the canopy here. Only used that thing once or twice. 3 M18s will be here, 4 M12s, and I got copper spray, a thing of right stuff, silicone, a little baby can of PB. Ooh, what was all that? This is kind of repetitive to what I have, almost. A little bit of sunscreen, which really don't need this time of year. Dielectric grease, more Loctite, more, you know, that, hand wipes, brake cleaner, oil filter, brake fluid. I like this little funnel, works well. Wet wipes, which probably need to be replaced. Well, I got that, so I don't need these. A couple of rags. Ooh, look. LS9 head gaskets. Temp gun, toilet paper, American flag. Put this back in. There, that's everything that's on the door. We're really trying to thin it out. I'm tired of it having it jam pack. So the only thing I gotta do is I want to check the wheel bearings, make sure they're good, check the tires, make sure they're good. And then we can start loading this bad Larry up. I don't know if I showed you guys. Arctic coolers. Got these cool little personal coolers. I wanted everything one-handed sucks. I wanted ooh, look, an Arctic sticker. I wanted like a little personal cooler I could stick a bunch of sodas in, snacks, and put it inside the car. But they did that too. How freaking cool is that? So I'm pretty stoked about that cooler. 'Tis the season. I still don't know what I did with that battery. Did I just stick it back in the charger? Because it's already charged. Oh hey, garbage. Or that one was already charged and I put it down. Oh, unbelievable. These little ones suck anyway. Alright, this is a super hodgepodge video of getting this thing ready to go to street and eat. Today's Saturday, we're leaving Tuesday night. So I just went and picked up the trailer, the big trailer. Got the truck washed, filled the truck up. I'm gonna wash the big trailer, check the tires, all that. I gotta check the tires on this little trailer. Check the lug nuts. Is it like that one looks loose? There's only a couple threads versus that one. And I'm not sure if it's a lug nut difference or a stud. I don't remember. So I gotta check small stuff like that. Went and got fuel. Yes. Oh, I finished this. So it actually, the door holds now. So that's kind of nice. Alright, no more bungee cord. It's a little. Got 20 gallons of X85. New street tires. The old ones were completely bald. And I was sliding around in the rain like it was on the radials. Spare flag. Well, this is going to be the spare because I started to tear it up. So I got a new one. I got to finish packing in here. I think I have everything. I just got the oil. I got my case of oil in. So now I have a full oil change in the trailer. Which... oh, it's still in the car. Forgot. Now this is ready. We'll see how we do. Looks like I got a hurt turbo. The driver turbo is leaking a little bit of oil out of the front and rear covers, so fingers crossed
it lasts the whole event. And then this winter, I'll send them out and get them upgraded. I'll put 69s on it if I can. I think I can go to 69s. So, by the way, don't turn around in driveways with steep angles. You'll tear your shit up. I tried banging that back into shape. Give this old girl a bath because it's dirty. I haven't washed it once this year. Check all the lights, check all that jazz. Go from there. Truck's all cleaned. Changed the oil in it yesterday. Rotated the tires. Changed the transmission fluid and filter. It's a little early. They say 150 in this thing, but I did it. I got a 102. That's when I'm doing it. And like the fluid was dirty, but it wasn't trashed. So it feels like it's shifting better already. Yeah, I mean, this is the most I've been prepared. And it's honestly because I've had enough time to do everything. And that's what happens when you don't blow up a motor before every event, like I did 2 years in a row. Alrighty, we're making progress. The trailer hasn't been this clean, like ever. That soft scrub with bleach worked well. I don't know, you can tell in the sun. Actually gave it a little bit of a shine too. It's actually clean. I was pleasantly surprised. Car's ready. X85 turned over on it. Race mode. Tires, chute, all my safety gear. 417 Fox bezel just showed up for the radio. That's kind of all right. Well, we're getting everything in the box. You set the tire pressures, check these tires, check those tires, set tire pressures and everything. This is getting slowly filled up. The street tires normally won't be in here, but since we're in race mode now, this is what's in here. 5, 10, 15 gallons. Move my toolbox up front. A little bit easier to access. I still have cleaning and organizing to do and making sure everything is in here. But I have to, can't forget my scooter. Can't forget the scooter. I do want to get a better one. I got this one cheap, and it is cheap. It was on sale at Walmart for like $150. And it's definitely a $150 scooter. But, oh well. So I need these, 2 of them for the little trailer, because the little trailer goes sideways in the big trailer. All the way up at the front. I've got my little cooler, laptop, laptop mat, some wiring schematics, chargers. Dave will bring his laptop, but I'll use that as a, a backup, because God forbid we lose a laptop. I don't feel like going to the store to buy one. Yeah, what else? What the hell just happened? I was watching World Cup, the Honda Cleanup Nationals, I should say. We are loaded, set to go. This has been an absolutely long, all over the map, ridiculous video. I am sorry. But I still can't get over how clean this trailer is. It's in there. Everything's strapped down. Good to go. We'll just constantly, ready? That's not going anywhere. They're piano string tight. This is very tight. I even put some stuff in the way so my stuff doesn't get damaged this year, like
that. Getting very, very proficient at loading all this stuff. Figure 4 years later, it's bound to get there, right? But yeah, we are. My next purchase is a bigger trailer. Once I pay off my Ford, it's going to be a bigger trailer. Like a 32 foot would be perfect. I could probably pull the damn car with the trailer in on it. Now this, like, I have to unpack the parachute to get the door to close. And I mean, I have space here. This is just here just in case. But it's getting tiresome doing this. Well, when it's all done, we head out very, very shortly here. We're gonna drive through the night, which is gonna suck, but I'm putting a blanket and a couple pillows in the back seat. Me and Dave switch driving duties every time we have to fill up. So, and switch back and forth. I don't know what the fuel economy is going to be on the truck. Like, it's going to be way better than the Denali, but the Denali also holds more fuel, which, so I don't know if it's going to equate. I get about, so last year I got about 240 miles in the Denali, and that was 25 or 26 gallons. The Ford, the gas gauge is wrong, and it's an apparent problem with these trucks because I've never been able, I mean, like the calculations on the dash is telling me you are empty, 5 miles till empty. Supposedly it's got a 25 gallon tank. I've never been able to put more than 22 gallons in it. So on the highway doing 80 miles an hour, I get almost 19 miles to the gallon in that thing with no trailer. We're gonna see how many miles we get with the trailer. I mean, with the Denali, I get like 7 miles to the gallon. I know it's better than that. Going to Lebanon, I get like 14 with the Ford. So we'll see what it does on the highway, 70 plus miles an hour. We're gonna, you know, we'll start to figure out where it likes it and how many miles we get. So it's like 775 miles. So if I can get 300 miles out of the Ford, I don't even know if that math's right. Like I said, I don't even know if that math's right. That'd be great. So we're gonna find out. But we're gonna wrap this video up. Street and Yeet, I'm probably gonna condense down. So it's Wednesday's testing, Thursday's day 1, Friday's day 2, Saturday's day 3, Sunday's day 4. I'm probably going to break that down to 2 videos, maybe 3. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try to condense it down and go from there. But right now, signing out. We're done. I got to pack my bag, get this into the truck, get some sodas and some snacks in the cooler, and go from there. And then we'll be out. We'll pick back up when we're on the road. We're leaving in dark, so I probably won't even film a video till Wednesday morning, and we'll go from there. So get in your garage. Last event of the year. Most people are already done. Get to work on your hot rod. And I'll see you later. Have a great night.